Hey, it's Tyra.
Hey, it's Krysten.
And welcome to
Krysten and Tyra and Krysten! Okay, so, hey, it's Krysten. No, hey, it's Tyra. Hey, it's Krysten. And welcome to Tyra and Krysten.
Hey, it's Tyra.
Hey, it's Krysten.
And welcome to Tyra and Krysten. Today we're going to be talking about our top 10 tips for college music majors.
Yes. First tip, how to slay your juries. How to slay.
The first piece of advice for juries is prepare super early.
Yes. I would have my accompanist play whatever piece I had, and I would record it on a voice memo so that I could go back in my dorm room and practice and sing like whenever I needed to. On your voice memo app, you can scroll through the time sections of the audio, so you can just pick a spot that you have like trouble with, and you can just keep running through it.
Going off of that, one tip I have to remembering your pieces. At our school, there was like classical and commercial, but especially if it's a classical song and it's in another language, go through with your recording of your accompanist playing and try to sing through and see if you can remember everything in time in your brain. Because when you're singing something, you might not necessarily remember, but if you can remember it all in time in your brain, you're going to be able to sing it all in time. During the jury, I would also say that if you forget a word or a lyric, just keep going. I was singing an Italian song. My accompanist was literally from Italy, like her first language was Italian, and she didn't even notice I messed up because I just started making up words that were like, I mean, they were real Italian words, but like I didn't know what I was saying, and she didn't even notice.
Just gotta keep going.
Yeah, just keep going, because if you stop, even if you're correct, they're gonna think you're not prepared, which is not what you want. For commercial juries, one tip is to be dressed the way that you want to be perceived. The faculty will kind of be looking to make sure your artistry matches your image.
Even if you're an instrumentalist, your outfit should reflect what kind of band you want to be in or what kind of music you want to play. So yeah. Cool. What's our next tip?
Should we talk about the singing part of the jury?
Yes. It's easy for us to rely on our natural abilities and our natural talent, which can it's fine, we can get away with it, but it's not going to make you a better performer. You have to push yourself. You have to take that extra mile. You want to make sure that whatever it is you're singing about, you emote that emotion in the best way possible so that whoever is watching or listening to you can feel that, because music is about feeling. Sing stuff that's close to you, sing stuff that fits your voice, that shows your talents and what makes you shine like a star. Don't be afraid to try something that makes you uncomfortable. I've had a couple of friends who maybe weren't necessarily comfortable with trying like new runs or new tricks or like certain keys or like certain messages because they felt like they couldn't get it across. But don't underestimate yourself, Try new things. Like, you're in school to learn, you're in school to experiment. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to maybe really dissect that run that you think is really cool that maybe you think you can't sing. You probably will be able to do it. Don't underestimate yourself.
Tip number 2.
Dos.
Don't blow off theory and oral skills.
Don't do it.
When you actually have to use it, it's so nice to have the knowledge, even if in the moment it doesn't seem like the most fun thing to do.
Don't be ashamed if it takes a while, because my high school didn't have a huge music program. It was mostly just choirs and small ensembles. We didn't have music theory. So the first time I had been introduced to actual theory of music was in college. And it did take me a while, and I had to get a couple tutors, but it is very important because it just makes you more aware of, what you're doing when you're in a band setting or when you're with an accompanist. You can just communicate better. If you speak music, it's just easier. And some people it may take a while. For me, it took a while, but, I got through it, and I'm definitely a better person now that I've, gotten help with theory, and I understanding of what it is and how I can apply it to my music. Tip number 3. Experiment with different music and different aspects of music.
Yeah, so in my experience, this has not only meant just like trying jazz and country and R&B and pop. This has also meant trying even a cappella music for me. Like a cappella has been a huge part of my college journey. I'm in this group that's called the Beltons, which is pretty
They're
great.
amazing.
That's also helped me to, delve into arranging, and kind of have more of an ear for the vocal part of music, but just doing as many different things or things that you didn't anticipate doing helps you to discover your artistry more, because you might discover that a piece of that music, it could be huge in your artistry, or it could be something that you can use to make yourself different from everyone else.
Don't be afraid to experiment with other aspects of music. So like production. Me, I produce. And it didn't happen without hesitation. Originally I was like, oh, I'm just a singer. It's okay that I can't make my own music because I can pay someone else to do it for me. Sometimes you're lucky and you just find all these people that are just like awesome and fit your genre and fit your style. But sometimes you're not as lucky, like myself. I couldn't necessarily find anybody that made music that I felt comfortable with. So I delved into production. So I was obviously, a little hesitant because you don't really see a lot of female producers out there. You certainly don't see a lot of female producers that sing. But I was just like, I'm just gonna like get experience from my other producer friends that do make music, so I can just take aspects of the way they do what they do and apply it to the things that I do the way that I do them.
Mm-hmm. Tip number 4. Don't be afraid to go against the crowd. There are so many people that at the beginning of their college career might have been different or might not have been viewed as highly because they weren't necessarily like the pop sound, but then they became some of like the most creative people when we were about to graduate because they just didn't care what anyone said and they just did their own thing and found their own niche and became super successful.
And like with us, we moved to Nashville to go to school, and obviously Nashville is a huge music city, but it's primarily country music. So we're not going to just become country singers because we're surrounded by a bunch of country singers. We need to do our own thing, And so don't think that, all of my friends sing bluegrass folk, I should be singing bluegrass folk. Don't think that. If you feel like, hey, I do EDM, but I really love like my roommate who does some bluegrass folk, I kind of want to mix that together. Don't be afraid to do stuff like that because that's how you make the magic.
If you try something and you fail, or not even fail, if you try something and it doesn't work, you can just throw it away. But if you don't try things, you're never going to find that things that's unique and that's different, that sets you apart. You're just going to be the same everybody else, and no one needs 632 of the same person. Mm-hmm. Tip number 5. Don't be discouraged by all the new talent you see in college.
Yes. You will be probably one of many people who were the best at their high school, and you're going to be among all the other people who were the best at their high schools. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. That's how you learn. Like, you don't learn from being the best. I don't ever want to be in a position where I am like by far better than everyone else at everything, because I'm not going to learn anything from that. Mm-hmm. And that's part of what your college experience is. There are going to be some things that you might excel at, but then there's going to be other things that other people are stronger than you at.
Just having that friendly competition, it pushes you to be better. If at your high school you were the best singer, or you were the best guitar player, or you were the best key player, or the best drummer, or best whatever instrument you played, you may not have had the necessity to constantly be working at your craft, constantly be pushing yourself. Don't necessarily compare yourself to everyone, because yes, maybe you think a certain person is a better singer, than you are, but maybe someone else's perception of that is different. It's not necessarily about comparing yourself and trying to be the best. It's about making decisions that make you the best you that you can be. With that all being said, you know, be aware of your surroundings. Competition does make you better, but it's not all about, you know, being, like we said, the best. It's just about being the best you.
That leads us to our next point. Just don't burn bridges and don't let jealousy get the best of you.
Topic number 6.
It used to really bother me when people did 6 like this. Like, I'm not one of those people that counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a 1 with your pointer finger. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just set the record straight. That's how you do it.
You honestly never know who's gonna help you and who can hook you up with what. You
Even
know,
10 years down the line.
and it's really important in the music industry in general to just maintain relationships. Friends want to help out friends. So, you know, if you build relationships with these people, they want to help you. I mean, half the battle is you being, you know, easy to work with, and you being easy to teach, and you being easy to get along with and to communicate with, and people wanting to spend time with you.
Going along with that, there are times where someone could just like annoy the crap out of you. Be patient with people because they might surprise you later down the line when you really need it.
What would Jesus do? Tip number 7.
Notice I did not do this.
Who does that?
People that count like this.
Collaborate early / use your community. Very, very important. Think about it. Everyone from different places, everyone's excited to move away and be around creative people. Like, the juices are just flowing, so you need to take advantage of that. And there are so many new people that you don't know. Get to know them, get to know what they do, and start something. It's the classic story of a college band. Like,
it is.
You guys meet each other in your dorm rooms, magic happens, and then 10 years later, or Jesus Christ, not 10, sorry, excuse me. 7 years later, you guys are on tour and
What?
like 7 years later, you guys are on tour and you are opening for a huge act at the Bridgestone, you know?
Or you are the huge act at the Bridgestone.
Are the huge act at the Bridgestone.
Tip number 8. Try to wear as many hats as you can. Now, we kind of touched on this earlier. The more hats you can wear, the more you can do.
And the more valuable you are. If you are more interested in the business side, like if you can do Photoshop and you know how to work a camera and you've had experience with that, well, those are valuable skills that a business will pay you for. If you know how to produce, if you know how to lay down tracks, if you know how to arrange, if you know how to write charts, you know, you need to market that stuff.
Just going on top of that, the more things you know how to do, the less you need to ask others to do for you, and the more you can just be self-sufficient. Like, Krysten produces, and she's coming out with an EP soon, but she was able to like lay down tracks when she wrote her songs. She was able to do stuff on her own, and she didn't have to wait to find or pay other people to do it. She was just able to do it herself.
And because I can do this, I want to do it for my friends. So like, Tyra uses me as a resource, so we make music together.
Like, also, the more you know and the more hats you wear, the more you can call people out when they're
doing something wrong.
You crap.
Exactly.
And trying to scam you.
Tip number 9. That was so extra.
I know.
Be professional and utilize your professors.
Yes, there have been many times during my college career where professors have either seen some potential in me or that they've seen that I've just put in the effort during school, and they've given me outside gigs because of that. And most of them are paying gigs, which is super nice, especially as a broke college kid, because that's real. There's the one that we did together, where one of our teachers just saw us and someone else in our class, and they're like, hey, do you want to record for this thing I'm doing? I'll pay you. And we're like, yeah. And it's just because we were active during our classes. We were like talking to our teacher after class. We were just trying to get the most out of that experience, and it doesn't go unnoticed. We have arrived. Number 10! This is by far the most important one, because this is the point that creates people's perception of you.
It's very important to dive into who you are as an artist, so you have a full understanding of who you are, so that you can get your branding correct. Because you can try to, create this persona. You can only keep that up for so long.
Yeah.
Whatever you do has to be genuine. So your brand, everything you do has to be consistent with it as well. The key is knowing who you are very, very well, so that every aspect of your brand aligned with who you are seamlessly.
And that's just part of college in general, is discovering yourself, but especially as a music major, whether that be classical or commercial. But just as a part of finding who you are, you need to find out who you are as an artist and make sure that that stays true to yourself. So you need to find out what works for you, how you can make a connection with other people through who you are and what you're trying to say.
You're just gonna have to you need the image of your business for marketing purposes, so that people know who you are, what you're trying to get across, what they're buying, and they feel comfortable, trusting you with their money to get your product, whatever it is that you're selling. As an artist, that's you.
Yeah.
It's not just your voice now, it's not just your music, it's literally you.
You can have so much creativity within that and provide a unique experience for someone else, because the product is an extension of you. The product is who you are. So with branding yourself, I think that's kind of cool.
It's just kind of like knowing who you are and being able to articulate that, to everyone else.
Making sure what you do matches, like your clothes, as we touched on. Is makeup your thing? Is no makeup your thing? Are there certain colors you can relate to? What do those colors mean? Like, even one of our teachers was saying there's like a color wheel, and each color kind of means something different. And it's helpful to look at what colors match certain brands and what those brands make you feel, because that can kind of help you to discover what that color could mean to you, or what do you make people feel.
And figuring all of this out while you're in college just makes the transition so much easier when you leave, because you've already got everything together. It helps you when you enter the real world, having a business plan, having a press kit, having music, having the connections that you made in college, whether that be a professor or professors or a friend or friends.
So, those are our top 10 tips for college music majors.
If you want to be a K-cup and join the tea party,
subscribe down below for more music and artist lifestyle videos.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.
Bye.